players and then a brief statement, and they'll ask you a few questions following.
Sure. This is Aiden Miller, offensive lineman, senior. This is Jacob Chittum, offensive line and defensive end, senior. You know, for tonight, I want to give some credit to LeBlanc and the great season they've had and the fantastic job they did tonight getting prepared. They came out with some things that we hadn't seen, and they did a fantastic job up front. And it was a battle up front, the battle in the trenches, and we were expecting that, and our guys did a great job handling it. And credit to them, great season on their part, and we were excited to be able to play a team that good in the state title.
I could not shut it down yet.
Coach, kind of seen the touchdown in the first half of Braxton. Just how big was that momentum to get that one and obviously take a 2-touchdown lead into the half and then get the ball back to begin the second?
Well, it was obviously huge for us, and we got a little frustrated there a few times. We kind of got stalled out inside and had a few things, and actually that was a pass play that he called, and he read it quick and realized it wasn't there, and does what Braxton does, which is scramble around, make a play, and for us to be able to take that momentum as well, and that's what we were discussing heading into that is, hey, no matter what, they can't get the ball back here. We've got to lead, but we need to have some momentum coming, and that was a great momentum switch for us there in the half.
Jacob, Aiden, as linemen paving the way for an offense like this tonight, how much fun does that have to be a part of?
Man, it's great. I just enjoy blocking. Like, you hear offensive linemen always talk about how they wanted to run the ball or be the quarterback or anything like that. Not me. I love blocking. It's my favorite thing, especially when you got guys behind you, you can trust. Guys next to you, you can trust. I mean, we work as a team, and it's great. I love every minute of it.
I love all the fame and all the credit to the offensive line, but none of it happens without Hayden Ecker. He's an absolute stud. There's no words that can explain how good he is on the football field. So most of our credit goes to him as well. So there's no fame to us without him.
I know you guys will never admit, especially during the year, to any added pressure. But you had the emotional start to this season, along with just that brutal schedule you guys went through. Just talk about going through all of that as a team and then coming here tonight and finishing off the perfect season.
We had to go through every week preparing the same way. We had the same schedule. We couldn't change anything. We went in and did the same exact thing every week. Didn't matter who the opponent was. We prepared the same way. Of course, we watched film, tons of film, and then we just ran their plays, and we had success with it. I mean, we're here. So.
For us, that emotional start to the season, it had an opportunity to set us back, but instead it did the exact opposite of that. It kind of brought us all together, and we rallied around a young man who had a tragedy, and the way our young men handled that impressed me on a daily basis, because there were times when it could have taken a turn for us, and it didn't. And as Jacob said earlier, Hayden's a fantastic football player, and a lot of times we were carrying him just through those emotional parts of the season and those kinds of things. And for him to have this opportunity tonight to get the relief, I think he felt a lot of pressure during the season, that it was on him a lot of times. And to get the relief that was on his face tonight made every practice, every weight, everything worth it, because as everybody has said, he's special.
To add to that, the embrace and the hug with Hayden after this, like you talked about, just the 4 or 5 months he's had, just how big was it for you guys to give him this moment too, because of what he's done for you guys, but what you guys have done for him too?
Well, for us I'm trying to break down here. For us to be able to do what we do, it does require Hayden, and so we tried to manage that in the early parts of the season. Of hey, let's give him a day off here. Let's do these things that maybe we can play the long game and get towards the end of the season and be healthy and all those kinds of things. And of course, there were moments during the season. I don't want to give details, but there were moments during the season where he was breaking down a little bit. And when that happens, it's our job to recognize that and to be there and be the stable force. And that's what we tried to do. And as a team, we met and discussed it. We wanted to be the place that you escape to. We escape to football. That's what I do. When I have a bad day at work, I escape to football practice. That's what I do. And we created a place where you could go and escape and not have those pressures on the outside coming at you. And our guys did a fantastic job doing that. Our coaching staff, the parents, the school, everybody had the same mission. And it's obvious tonight we were successful in this part of it. It's not over, but we were successful in this part.
to finish your guys' careers as state champions? You know, we've talked about this year, and then, of course, you go back to 2 years ago. Has it even sunk in yet what you guys have been able to accomplish tonight and all year?
Honestly, no. I don't know how to explain it. It feels great. Like, I'm so glad to finally see what everything I've done, working out, everything we've done. It feels good for it to finally pay off. I mean, we're finally here. We finally won. It's just, and it also helped. I played in the 2020 game. It helped having that experience. Jacob played in that game. A lot of our seniors did. It helped to have that experience going into this game. It was nice to have it.
Throughout the year, there have been moments where you get to remind people that Brack is just sophomore. Can you talk about the way that sophomore played tonight? I think everyone's focus is obviously on Hayden, but for him to do what he did tonight.
Well, our offense is based upon obviously running the football, and he's our counterpunch. He's our counterpunch to that. And so his decisions in our option game tonight were fantastic. And LeBlanc was throwing a lot of stuff at us, double setting the edge and bringing blitzers all over the place. And so for a young sophomore like that to make those right reads, make those right decisions, we call him a sophomore. He's a junior. He started every game as a freshman. Now he started every game as a sophomore. He's a junior, maybe halfway to a senior. And I've told you guys this a bunch of times that we've talked. He watches more film than anybody. He knows everything that's going on. He's been with us since he was in the 5th grade. He knows more about what we do than we do some days. And it shows on the field for a young guy.
One more.
This offense of LeBlanc's had put up video game numbers all year, and you guys held them scoreless in the second half. What were you guys doing that they gave them problems?
Well, we made some adjustments up front. We switched Jacob to the short side of the field instead of the wide side. You could obviously tell they were doing some things on the offensive line to kind of mitigate the impact he could have on the game. We made a few other adjustments on there, and we settled down. That was the biggest part of it. We settled down. We were trying to win the game on the first play, and that's just the emotion of the game and all those things. Once we settled down, got in the locker room, and everybody just took a deep breath, we were able to get out and play the kind of defense we've played all through these playoffs.